Hello, everybody, and welcome to yet another edition of the SCI Talkshow. The You Too Can Volunteer talk show is here every Friday at 1 p.m. Central European Time. This week, we will talk about workcamps in Mexico organized by Natate, and we'll be speaking with Lindbergh and Alexandra. Welcome.
Hi.
Hi, thank you.
Hello, and how are you?
Fine, we're doing well.
Doing really good, thank you. And yourself?
Yeah, very good. Very nice to have you here on the show. And so, can you tell us a little bit more about Natate and about your role in the organization?
Okay, sure. Natate is a nonprofit. We were founded in 2006 by a group of people devoted to work in Chiapas to address different issues that are being experienced here. We collaborate with different projects, such as projects that deal with the environment, social issues, cultural projects, and as well as World Heritage in collaboration with UNESCO. I am the director of Natate at the moment.
And I'm working as a volunteer at the office. I'm in charge of the coordination for special project and partnerships.
Okay. And can you tell us a little bit more about the projects that you have at Natate?
Yes, most of our projects are based here in the states of Chiapas. We mostly are working with communities of these states, which is the Paris states of Mexico. But we also have exchange projects in partnership with organizations as yours and all over the world. We are actually working on the project called Climate for Peace, and we are about to open a workcamp on the theme of permaculture.
Yeah, it's nice that you mentioned the Climate for Peace campaign because, in fact, last week we had a talk show dedicated to that topic. And maybe you can tell the people a little bit more about what permaculture really is.
Sure. Permaculture is an ecological design process. The idea is that we learn from nature, and the design methods are used in conjunction with permaculture principles to create an overall pattern or plan of action. The concept is from the 1910s and comes from the English expression permaculture, permanent agriculture, sorry. It was established by agronomists, microbiologists, biologists. And basically it's a solution that doesn't create more problems than it solves.
Okay, and why should we use permaculture?
The facts are that the agricultural methods of taking resources from the natural world are very destructive and completely unsustainable in the long term. The goal is to create a way of doing things with our basic needs, without all the profiteering, exploitation, and ecological degradation that is a part of capitalism and its control of the use of resources.
Okay, and are you using the permaculture in your work camps?
Yes, of course we have a workcamp called Haumeka here in Japan. It's a place where one lives in a community where everyone works and learns about permaculture. Everything is done from a holistic view of respecting and protecting the environment.
Okay, sounds really interesting. And what is it that volunteers get to do at this work camp?
It really depends on the time of the year and the local climate, as well as the local needs of the community. But usually the activities include bioconstruction, the creation of planting beds, planting vegetables, also working with creating fertilizers, agroecology, beekeeping, working with clay to make pottery, the use of medicinal plants, the conservation of products, compost, vermiculture, traditional cooking, soap making, and as well as the creation of different crafts.
Wow, so they will really have a lot to do and never get bored. That sounds really nice. Is there any specific requirements that volunteers need to meet to be able to join this camp?
Yes, volunteer interest in participating in this project must show an interest of sustainable development and environmental practices, adapt to a healthy lifestyle aimed at a mostly vegetarian diet, prepared in groups. It's also important to have an open mind to the custom of a spiritual kind practices by some of the members of the community, such as meditation or anything else.
Okay. And how can people apply for this camp?
Everyone is welcome to apply at workcamps.info.
Okay. Yes, www.workcamps.info. That is the site where you can search for this camp. It's also a Climate for Peace labeled workcamp. Lindbergh and Alexandra, I would really like to thank you for this interview. It was really interesting. And I hope that you will get lots of applications from volunteers for your work camps. I would also like to ask you to remain online a little bit longer because people may still have a few questions for you. And these questions you can ask on Twitter using #VolunteerTalk or on facebook.com/Service Civil International. It is also possible to send your questions by email to info@sciint.org. And we've already reached the end of this week's talk show. Next week we will be back again at 1 p.m. Central European Time on Friday. And then we will be talking to branches in Asia. Hope to see you then. Bye.